All right. Now that you have light fog assigned to your light, sometimes you may encounter a couple of problems. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to refine this light fog. In some cases, you may or may not see your shadow down here. This is a render view of what I have going on over here. So let's just take a quick look at our scene. I'm going to minimize my render view. And I'm going to click in this box, and you can see where we have a spotlight set. Let's go to our front view. We have the spotlight, and then we have our object, our geometry here, and then we have our plane. In some cases, if you turn this light off, you'll notice that it doesn't show anything at all. If we go ahead and turn the light on, now you can see that we can see the light, we can see where that is. And in some cases, you're going to have to enable your shadows right here. So if I click this box, if you're not seeing a shadow, make sure that you have your shadows enabled there and that you're in high quality rendering. If you're in default quality rendering, you'll notice that your shadows disappear, but they'll still show up in your render. So in most cases, I like high quality rendering. It just gives me a better idea of what's going on in the scene. And now, if you're still having problems with seeing your shadows, sometimes what you might want to do is come over here and look at your shape, look at the attributes. We've got all of these going on, and you'll notice that down here underneath shadows you have depth map shadow attributes. Okay, so if this is clicked and it's activated, then your render is going to look something like this. All right, now you can see where the shadow shows up, but if I don't use depth map shadows and I go ahead and click my render button, you'll see that your shadows aren't really there. This is the Maya software, and usually you're going to be using some sort of depth map shadows. Now, in order to get a better resolution on your shadows, let's just do a quick render here. As you can see, we have a resolution of 512. You can always bring this up a bit to get a better quality shadow. It'll add a little bit to the render time depending on how far up you set your shadow resolution. And you're going to be working a lot with these to sort of refine what's going on. Now, be aware too that let's look at what our render settings are. So I'm going to come up here into this little box right here, and you can see where down here in the line it says that this is the open render settings window for Maya. We'll go ahead and open that, and in the not in the common section, in the software section, you'll see where you have various things you can set here. I'm going to put my anti-edge aliasing to the highest quality, and up in here, let's just move this to production quality. And you can also set a number of things in here. There are some different options, but for the moment, let's see what we have now. You're going to notice that it, in some cases, adds a little more time to the render time. And as well, over in this case, over in your attributes over in this section, you're going to see where you can have some various options over here. For the moment, until you really get into working with shadows, you know, you're going to be, there's quite a bit going on with shadows, and that might be a whole different tutorial. But for the moment, if you don't have your shadow there, just make sure that you have your use depth map shadows, and that your shadows are on up here if you want to see them in your viewport right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that and minimize that. And I hope that answers a couple of questions about shadows. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Read another book, and have a great day. Okay, over and out.